Hello, my name is Spencer Costello, and for my speech, I'm going to be convincing you guys why we should not ban TikTok. So, back in April this year, the Senate and House passed a bill saying that Chinese company ByteDance, owner of social media giant TikTok, would need to sell the social media program to a United States-based company, or it would receive a ban in the country. This bill was passed with little discourse, which is odd because the people in our office do not get along with one another, and it seems like nothing gets done at times. But what is also weird was when this bill was introduced, according to PBS News, the TikTok legislation was included as a part of a larger $95 billion package that provides foreign aid to Ukraine and Israel. And of course, the TikTok ban ended up being the most talked about compared to the massive amount of taxpayer money being sent out. And it just makes the timing of this bill very suspicious, and it honestly just kind of overshadowed the more important conversation about foreign aid. A little off topic, but I did ask ChatGPT, and it estimated that the amount of money I just mentioned could possibly solve the homelessness crisis in America. That amount of money, $95 billion, could house almost all the homeless people in America for 4 to 5 years, which could be the amount of time these people need to get off of drugs, get whatever help they need, or just get themselves off their feet. But I digress. So why is banning TikTok a big deal? If the TikTok ban went through, which is actually coming up pretty soon, January 19th, they were given 9 months to sell to a company, then Meta would have no competition and millions of Americans would lose a part of their free speech. So I would say the social media giants right now, in this current day and age, are Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Reddit, and Twitter. Now, Reddit and Twitter are both similar as they're more for sharing information and news. And fun fact about Twitter, the reason why Elon Musk bought it is because he felt like free speech, specifically free speech about the government, was being threatened. In a TED interview, Musk said that he aimed to make Twitter a platform for free speech around the globe and admitted that he was not going to see a return in profits. But I don't agree with the name change. It was pretty stupid. So anyway, back to it. YouTube is a video sharing website, and it's kind of doing its own thing. And it does compete with TikTok with its YouTube Shorts, but it's mainly known for its long-form video content. And so that just leaves Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And all of these are similar as users can connect with each other and enjoy short-form content. Now, having 3 different social media types of social medias, it sounds great. It creates competition and keeps everyone in check. Now, what if I told you that Facebook and Instagram are actually owned by the same company, Meta? And if TikTok was banned, Meta would gain a near total control over short-form social media, eliminating healthy competition. This would stifle innovation and limit the diversity of content available, ultimately restricting free speech for millions of users. And another problem associated with banning TikTok is that we will see a massive loss to our First Amendment rights. Many people use TikTok as a way to vent, protest, and discuss the current news and politics. Many people get their news from TikTok accounts run by individual people instead of your massive news corporations, which at times have been shown to be unreliable and biased. CNN. Dylan Page, which is this guy, you probably recognize him. Yeah, he's a pretty big TikToker. He's got 13.7 million followers, which is more than the combined TikTok accounts of New York Times or CNN, which is huge. His success highlights how social media democratizes news, allows individual voices to compete with traditional outlets. But without TikTok, millions of Americans would lose an accessible, engaging way to stay informed. As the saying goes, democracy dies in darkness. Our democracy depends on a well-informed public. Now, the main reason why lawmakers want to ban TikTok is because it seems that they fear that TikTok could allow the Chinese government, which ByteDance is a Chinese-based company, to access sensitive information about the United States. And yeah, that's true. China's a foreign enemy, and the thought of them having personal information of millions of Americans is scary. But let's not forget Facebook's own history with privacy breaches with foreign enemies. In 2016, Facebook had a serious security breach. This eventually led to the term fake news, which plagued Facebook. The New York Times says that a company called Cambridge Analytica and even the country of Russia itself used stolen information to create personalized political news, ads, and stories to engage with users. These stories were filled with extremely false information and created a disinformation campaign that honestly influenced the results of the 2016 presidential election. And to top it off, an estimated 87 million Facebook users' information was stolen. The only advantage Meta has over TikTok is it's a United States-based company, and which means the government does have more concern over Facebook, which is good. But is it really fair that Facebook is allowed to remain when they've had so many security breaches over the years? An interesting point to the government banning TikTok is that many in office actually own stock in Meta and will benefit from it. According to Investor Place, 3 big and well-known retired lawmakers have been known to own stock in Meta, and this doesn't count the amount of people in office that do own stock. Those 3 people were Nancy Pelosi, Michael McCaul, and Markwayne Mullen. And lawmakers that are purposely changing the law to benefit from stock value, which if TikTok was banned, Meta stock would go through the roof. And honestly, this can be seen as a form of breaking the law by participating in insider trading, which is the act of trading stock to one's own advantage through having access to confidential information, or by changing the law, what these people are doing. So, in conclusion, TikTok should not be banned because Meta will gain some serious power and will monopolize the industry. And Americans will lose a big part of their free speech while the rich get richer. To end off this speech, I'll read off a quote. And love or hate this guy, but couldn't agree more with what Donald Trump says about Facebook. He said that Facebook is the enemy of the people. Couldn't agree more. But yeah, thanks for sitting through my speech. I know it's a few more minutes longer. I've done that this entire class, but I love all these topics I've been able to come up with. This has been such a great class. But yeah, thanks for listening. Peace.